looking at how it works with enterprise agile scaling and leadership. Now, I want to be very clear to know, not every single thing that I talk about is going to be unique only to distributed agile. There are going to be things that apply across any kind of agile team, but there will also be things that are quite specific in a distributed context. We're going to start with our survey, so if you're not logged in already, I see 29 of you are, please log in at kahoot.it here and enter that code for the survey. It'll be an interactive session to get us started in a moment. I'll go ahead and introduce who I am, and I'll let Hugo give a brief introduction on himself before we get started. So if you're still here, please go ahead, and you haven't logged in, log in to the Kahoot there, okay? So I'm John Okoro. I am the creator of the Auspicious Agile blogs and pretty frequent conference speaker. I do Enterprise Agile Coach. I actually reside in Singapore and spend a lot of time teaching and training and certifying on Agile methods. I've spent probably about the better part of a decade doing that now. A lot of Enterprise Agile experience. I was responsible for being one of the program leads for Walt Disney World when they did their relaunch of all of the Walt Disney World park experiences. They call it My Magic Plus. I was one of the people who led the Agile program for that. It's about $1 billion program with about 500 plus people on 3 continents, so very distributed. And if you've been to Shanghai Disney or Orlando's Disney World, you've been to what we created, and we actually use a lot of Agile methods for that, on the largest scale distributed that I was involved in. And so I spent a lot of time very passionate about Agile methods, and especially leadership, which we'll talk about a little bit later here, and distributed. That's my background. Again, you'll see later, Auspicious Agile is blogs. I do a lot of video blogs and a lot of speaking on that, and I'll let Hugo do a brief intro on himself before we get going. Please log into the Kahoot if you're not in already.
Yeah, so I'm Hugo Messer. I'm from Holland, and I recently moved to, 1 year ago I moved to Bali. So I've been working with distributed teams for about 12 years, got it set up in India and Ukraine, and most of the clients that we serve are in the US and in Europe. 2 years ago I decided to give all the responsibility to an Indian CEO, so they manage everything and I could live in Bali. And then I felt a bit bored surfing and being on the beach all the time, and I thought, okay, let's start spreading Agile in Indonesia. So I started a community, and last week we had the first Agile Indonesia conference. So I tried to help Indonesian companies to become more agile, where it's actually just picking up, so they're a bit behind.